to beat the middle school lunch rush, and a longing for those disheartening red X's to turn into green checks worthy of celebration on my 3 daily web-assigned problems. I found gratitude journaling to be especially beneficial as it shifted my focus from wishing for what I thought I was missing to realizing what I already have. The loving community of friends, teachers, and family that sits right before me tonight. While I don't think words can adequately convey the impact you all have had on my life, after filing through the 9.5-page list of gratitude exercises that my class compiled, I ultimately chose to write a series of gratitude letters in an attempt to express the appreciation I feel. First, to the extraordinary class of 2018. We've done it. I'm sure this time last year, reaching this moment felt so far and unattainable, but here we are. Thank you for the lively spirit and myriad of talents each of you have brought to every corner and crevice of Westminster all these years. Whether it be at academic competitions, state championships, jaw-dropping productions like Les Mis, or even in office hours the day before a test, you never fail to enliven and inspire me with the wholehearted enthusiasm we bring to all that we do, and we do a lot. Thank you for the many laughs we've shared and unforgettable memories we've created, like that day in AP French last year with Dr. Hansen, when my class's shared look of genuine confusion morphed into deep belly laughter as the origins of Casey's mispronunciation of the number 9 in French was exposed to the whole class, quickly making him the new cover model of a Nerf gun ad, thanks to the meme-making creative genius of Jack Stone. Or at the 8th grade talent show, when the famed jump rope team composed of Zach Hay, Truman Vick, and Jack Balloon whipped out a routine featuring fancy twists and tricks. Apparently, there was another group who revived that idea this year, so kudos to you guys for pioneering a potential hallmark of middle school talent shows to come. Thank you for challenging me to become a better student and a better friend as I aim to reciprocate the support you've shown me. Thank you, Katie Barkin and Kate Miller, for making the free periods spent in Mr. Dingle's office after the AP Chem exam and before the SAT subject test the best frenzy of rapid-fire questions ever. And thank you, my beloved physics pod, made up of Katie, Lindsay Vincent, and Ashley On, who have seen me through my entire range of emotions, physics and non-physics related, and have, I hope, loved or at least tolerated me through them all. Thank you, my fellow Quebec cats, for making my last Jan term experience the most memorable yet, as we consumed plenty of poutine and braved our overnight stay in negative 40-degree temperatures together, equipped with bear skins and all. I could go on with more memories and stories, but I think we'd end up missing graduation at this rate. So, in short, thank you all for the opportunity to learn and grow alongside you. It has been you all that have transformed Westminster from a school and student body to a home and family for me. Next, to the amazing faculty that we are lucky to learn from and be surrounded by each day. Thank you for igniting our intellectual curiosity with the passion you infuse into each lesson plan, and for nurturing us into the lifelong learners we've become. And no, I did not intentionally copy these buzzwords from admissions websites or our handbook. I think they will just forever reserve a place in my head and heart thanks to college application season. From helping us determine the trajectory of our course load, to staying past 3:30 and meeting during free periods to answer questions, to tossing a frisbee with us on Spatio, we have all not only stood by our sides, but have guided us through the thick and thin. While I loved that yellow buggy detail in my A Rose for Emily essay, thank you, Ms. Cowan, for helping me write concisely. I hope I'm not failing you now. While a shudder still runs down my spine at the mention of barges, thank you, Mr. Gibson, for enthusiastically tapping your fingers against the board to demonstrate the direction of the voltage drop in a circuit. Thank you, Ms. D.E., for sharing your unparalleled love for Bismarck with us. Thank you, Mrs. Clemens and Mrs. Merchant, for supporting me and putting me on a path to taking one of my favorite math classes with Mrs. Ellis. And thank you, Mrs. Ellis, for making such a fun class out of, I'll admit, sometimes not so fun topics. It was actually this math seminar class that helped me to process the great honor and great fear of even delivering this speech. For reminding me that eigenvalue is only one word, thank you, Colin, to urging me to relate everything in my speech to the aptly named concept of chaos theory. I will remember this special class and the time we spent going around the room with Mrs. Ellis, tangentially relating our experiences to the language of math. And last, but certainly not least, to the parents and siblings who have been our biggest fans since before we can remember. Thank you for always being there for us. You've been there every step of the way, watching us grow from toddling toddlers to mature, or at least relatively mature, young adults. Whether it be oftentimes overlooked gestures, like taking pictures of assignments we've left on our desks but are due by 3 p.m., or bigger matters, like celebrating victories and comforting losses, we've always been able to count on you. And to my own parents and brother, thank you for understanding my idiosyncrasies and for all that you've sacrificed to bring me to where I am today. While I admit that it was hard for me to muster a thank you each time a single day's set of assignments took up the entirety of the Schoology sidebar, I'm thankful for the memories of Mr. Dingle beginning and ending our AP Chem classes with, but for now, much pain. He and others have taught us how to develop our grit and how to strengthen ourselves physically and mentally. We've experienced stress together, and we've experienced success together. And ultimately, we've been able to build an identity and legacy as one united class that combines our many unique personalities and interests, and for that, I'm forever grateful. Even though thank yous can slip off our tongues all too casually, my GOA class taught me that gratitude really describes our deeper appreciation for someone or something that produces a longer-lasting positivity that radiates both inwards and outwards. We finally defined gratitude as a social emotion that signals our recognition of the things others have done for us. So, as we all move into this next exciting chapter of our lives, I hope you will be able to find time to stop, reflect, and say a wholehearted thank you to the people and for the experiences you've had these past 18 years, while also feeling grateful for all that is to come. We have a lot of great things coming for us, class of 2018. Thank you, and go Cats.
And Alpha Omega, our boys valedictorian, is a leader with our Student Diversity Leadership Council and with Cafe Con Leche, our Latino and Hispanic student affinity group. His peers awarded him the senior superlative, most likely to change the world. He has participated in several Westminster Global programs, including our exchanges with schools in Argentina, France, and Kenya. Attending Johns Hopkins next year and presenting his speech entitled Common Grounds, Uncommon People, please welcome and congratulate Alex Palacios.
So I just want to quickly say thank you to my mom, my dad, my 3 sisters, and my grandma, or la abuela, for being here tonight. Thank you. Hello, class of 2018. I'd love to start off, as is customary, with an anecdote, a joke, or some story about a fish, just because it seems like the most scholarly way to begin. But I'd be remiss if I went any further without giving thanks to the parents, the staff, and the faculty that have made up an integral part of our Westminster experience. They've all worked tirelessly over these 4 years to see us succeed and be happy, and they deserve at least another round of applause. And an extra thank you to the teachers for the combined 6 tests I had during our last week of school. That was really special, thank you. And now I'd like to say thank you to all of you. This week marks the end of my 13th year at this school. Some of you I've been friends with from the very beginning. Others I was only lucky enough to get to know this past semester. All of you have made this place special, made this experience unforgettable, and made the study intolerable. So I want to say thank you for games of soccer foursquare, for tailgates, for ball tag on the 2nd grade playground, and for managing to pull off the best senior prank in years. I really can't wait until the administration notices. But thank you most of all to the people, the teachers, the friends, the acquaintances, the people you don't talk with but say hi to in the halls. You are what makes up, more than anything, the character of this school. Thank you, Colin, for reminding us that we are men now, not boys. Thanks, Cyan, for an iconic talent show performance. I hope you'll be knocking plenty of stools over at Stanford. Thank you, Amory, Reba, and Hannah, for asking me to give them a shout out in my speech. This is it. You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Dingle, for always reminding us dumb Americans that we can be brilliant. And thanks, Mr. Chard, for that time you hit Zach Hay directly in the head with a snowball. That was amazing. What these memories show me is that when you spend so much time, day in and day out, in a place, it's bound to become something special. And Westminster has, in fact, become another home to me. I know that it's both cliche and cringy to call your high school a home, but for me it's kind of true. Except for that 1 week before Thanksgiving break where teachers assign everything at the same time, I'm standing in a Christian chapel, so I'll just call it Heck Week, because it's hard as heck. But yes, the rest of the time, this place is like a home to me. And if we extend that metaphor, you all would be like my family. And if I'm being honest, most of you rank like third cousins or something, but there's still a bond there that I deeply appreciate, which is why I'm sad to say goodbye. I tend to be the type of person who holds on to the past, whatever way they can. I still have the same pencil pack I bought in the 6th grade. I still use my middle school ID, and I've been using the same cover sheet for my math binder for 7 years. It might be that I'm just too lazy to buy new stuff, which is very likely, but I also see it as my way of remembering where I've been and tracking how far I've come. I actually have the cover sheet I mentioned with me tonight, and even if you can't see all these scribbles here, I can tell you that every fall I would just cross off the number from the previous grade and write in the current one, from 6 all the way to 12. To anyone else, this is nothing more than a piece of paper, probably not even worthy of being recycled. But just by virtue of having been with me for so many years, this object, like this place, has gained a personal history. This crumpled, yellowing piece of paper holds memories of a simpler time, a time before integrals and differential equations, a better time. But of course, harder than you could ever hold on, life moves forward. And while we can bring these memories and tokens along with us, we have to move forward as well. I remember beginning my freshman year with the notion that I was a soccer player, because it was true. I'd been a soccer player for as long as I could remember. So that year, I tried out for the Westminster soccer team, and I got cut. The next year, I fought down the nerves and newfound feelings of inadequacy, and I went out onto the field to try out once again. I got cut. The next year, I joined the Math and Science Club. It was a better fit. And I know that as all of us move forward, we will continue to find those niches that fit us best. The reason I'm this confident about our future is that I've seen firsthand this grade's talent and capacity for the extraordinary, even in the people I don't know that well, because I do know that you have been shaped and molded by this extraordinary place. But while Westminster is extraordinary, what makes this school special? What I mean is, if you walk into the halls of an unfamiliar high school right now, or even into the college you'll soon be attending, you will see nameless, faceless people, shuffling past your vision and out of your universe. They don't really have an impact on you. Whereas here, the people evoke memories. They have dimension, and their person means something to you. You see Abbey, and remember how she got invited to a reception at the governor's house for valedictorians when you didn't. Not that I'm bitter. Devin, and that there was once a time when he wasn't big enough to bench Askew. And how could you pass by Brantley in the hall without remembering the time he cracked a column in the middle school locker commons with his head? Or Will Smith and that time he threw Brantley into a column. It's these memories that give the people in this room significance in our lives. The same holds true for the places here. The amphitheater, the first grade playground, Spatio, the quadrangle. These spaces have nicknames and memories and importance. So why is that? Because someone at that random high school that I mentioned earlier would clearly feel the same sentimental familiarity. They would know the names and faces of those who are, to us, nameless and faceless. And the truth is, I feel, that there is no objective specialness about this place. Certainly, Westminster is of the highest caliber of private schools. Test scores, statistics, and a massive endowment back that up. But why do we hold so much by these halls? How can this school be special if every place is special to the people who spend time within it? And that's what I think is important. That this place is special because you made it so. That in your eyes it holds meaning because you made that uphill walk from Turner to Askew so many times. Because the chair second from the left with the best view of the board is your chair. Because you never step on the seal, not out of fear of not graduating, but out of appreciation for a daily tradition. This idea deeply comforts me because it lets me know that no matter where we all go, it will be to a unique and incredible space just like this one, because that place will be wherever you are. But before we reach that new special place, we should each take the time to say goodbye to an old one. And as we leave these halls behind, these friendships of our youth, I sincerely hope that we will take a little bit of that specialness along with us, that we will hold on to our memories, our mementos, and our relationships with the people we met along the way. Let's all find a moment over these next few days to locate our own cover sheets, to reflect on the memories that mean most to us, and to ask ourselves, who are the people that I want to be in touch with 20 years from now? By doing this, we will always have the essentials of our Westminster experience to guide us on our way. We will never forget the Westminster schools, no matter where it is that we forward go. Thank you.
I'd like to now recognize our salutatorians, both of whom were among the state of Georgia's top 20 semifinalists in this year's U.S. Presidential Scholarship Competition. Attending Yale next year, she is a state championship-winning swimmer and the concertmaster of the Atlanta Symphony Youth Orchestra. And studying engineering at Duke in the fall, he is a member of Westminster's Science Olympiad team and was recently part of our state championship win with boys varsity soccer. Let's please congratulate our salutatorians, Phoebe Liu and Justin Shoffley. Now to announce our Academy appointments from the Coast Guard, Lieutenant Andrew Fides, and then followed by Commander Kent Hepler from the Naval Academy. Lieutenant Fides.
Good evening. I'm Lieutenant Andrew Fiddles, Future Forces Project Division, Coast Guard Headquarters, City of Washington, District of Columbia. And it is my privilege to be here tonight to present an Academy appointment to Mr. Jack Stone to the United States Coast Guard Academy Class of 2022. The Coast Guard Academy in New London is an academic and military institution responsible for educating future leaders of the United States. Founded in 1876, it is the smallest of the nation's federal service academies. Each year, approximately 10,000 students inquire about admission, with many completing the application process. Of those, approximately 300 will be appointed and sworn in this summer to the class of 2022. Since there are no congressional nominations required, Coast Guard Academy appointments are based exclusively on merit. Therefore, the most qualified applicants are selected through a holistic and rigorous review process. This summer, Mr. Stone will join the Republic's longest continuously operating military maritime service. While a great commitment is required, and the challenges will be unrelenting, the rewards will be unsurpassed, and the responsibilities he earns will test his mettle and leadership as he develops into a junior officer. Upon his commissioning in 4 years, Mr. Stone will then join one of the finest branches of our Republic's armed forces, where even this evening, Coast Guard cutters are on patrol in the Arabian Sea, the South Pacific, the Caribbean, and north of the Arctic Circle. Personnel are serving in diverse locations from Savannah, Georgia, to Combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa and Djibouti, from San Diego, California, to NASA's Johnson Space Center as members of our nation's astronaut corps, to Joint Task Force Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, from Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, to Brussels, Seattle, Tokyo, Pensacola, Nassau, Dutch Harbor, Alaska, and hundreds of locations in between. And just domestically, in the last 24 hours, the United States Coast Guard conducted 90 search and rescue cases, helped 117 people in distress on the water, seized $21 million of illegal drugs coming towards this country, and most importantly, saved 15 lives. It is this combined military and law enforcement function for which the Coast Guard excels, and where Mr. Stone will be charting an exciting new course. On behalf of Admiral Paul Zukoft, Commandant of the United States Coast Guard, and Rear Admiral James Rendon, Superintendent of the Coast Guard Academy, I present Mr. Jack Stone, soon to be Cadet Jack Stone, an appointment to the United States Coast Guard Academy class of 2022. Mr. Stone, step forward.
Good evening. My name is Commander Ken Hepler. I currently serve as the Executive Officer of the Navy Reserve Center on board Dobbins Air Force Base. I'm a 1998 graduate of the United States Naval Academy and was a Blue and Gold Officer for Westminster this academic year. This year, approximately 16,500 students nationwide applied for one of 1,200 appointments to the U.S. Naval Academy's class of 2022. The Service Academy admissions process is unique and requires each student to apply for and receive a nomination, most commonly from their senator or representative, complete a thorough medical exam, successfully pass a physical examination, in addition to the usual submission of transcripts, recommendations, and essays. Screening is thorough, with a focus on well-rounded individuals who demonstrated leadership potential, willingness to accept responsibility, outstanding academic credentials, and a desire to serve their country. An appointment to the Naval Academy is equivalent to a 4-year scholarship, including all tuition, room and board, medical and dental benefits, and a monthly midshipman stipend. After completing the 4-year curriculum at the Naval Academy, students receive a Bachelor of Science degree in one of 25 majors and earn a commission as an ensign in the United States Navy or as second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps. I'm proud to say that I interviewed 2 students who were accepted to the United States Naval Academy from Westminster, Bronte Bacchetta and John Fraser Davis. Go ahead and step forward. Now, one of the things is as they're coming forward, so they've already received the letters from the representative or senators from the nominating source. They've already received the appointment from the Naval Academy. So I'm going to give you probably something no one else is tonight, which is an empty folder. But here's the significance to it. You'll soon find that your career in the military, this folder is what every personal award comes in. When I joined the Naval Academy, I was in your shoes 24 years ago. It was an empty slate. I didn't know where I'd go. Both of these folders at one point had an award for something that I couldn't have even dreamed of 24 years ago. So when you get it, the Naval Academy is going to challenge you. Please, please, please recognize that. But this slate is yours to fill. And by the way, when I mentioned I interviewed them, I can attest to their knowledge because they both got appointments to the Air Force Academy, and they picked the right one.
The Band Leadership Award is presented each year to the senior demonstrating outstanding musicianship, leadership, and dedication to the instrumental music program at Westminster. The honoree for 2018 represents the best of Westminster in her rigorous discipline, technical mastery, and soulful approach to music making. This brilliant musician has led our concert, solo, and ensemble divisions, as well as winning auditions in the prestigious Georgia Music Educators Association All-State Band and the Atlanta Youth Wind Symphony. The Westminster Band Leadership Award goes to oboist Julie Street. The Frank Boggs Vocal Achievement Award is given each year to a senior whose performances in choral and solo repertoire have been exceptional, whose dedication to the choral program has been noteworthy, and whose long-term goals include the possibility of a career in professional music. The award, which is named for Westminster's revered choral director, Frank Boggs, is given this year to a talented and dedicated student singer. This year's recipient has been a crucial and reliable member of women's a cappella, ensemble, and chorale. Her commitment and leadership qualities were certainly on display this year as she, with only a few hours of notice, filled in to sing a beautiful solo with chorus and orchestra during this year's spring concert. Our congratulations to Caroline Stewart. Each year, we celebrate two students who have made exceptional contributions to theater arts at Westminster. Our first recipient leads the Westminster Players with infectious warmth, and he considers positive company morale to be his own quiet responsibility. He is an extraordinary actor who has grown from a freshman dabbling in comedy to a senior playing characters with rich depth and maturity. His role as a leader offstage mirrors this growth, and he became an advocate for all students in theater, propelling a vital change for inclusive and gender-neutral pre-show traditions. His true goodness has infused energy into our company of players that will last for a long, long time. Our second recipient has also been an advocate, incessantly working to better theater arts at Westminster, a camp counselor, a marketing strategist, an assistant director, a costume designer, and a thespian president. This student commits wholeheartedly to master-level achievement. She demonstrates exceptional acting versatility in class and in rehearsals, playing a dialectician from the 1930s, a heart-sick jailer's daughter, a ukulele-playing pirate, and a greedy innkeeper's wife. Next year, we will dearly miss her dedication and her heart. Congratulations to Ramsey Clyde and Courtney Frank. The Norma Allen Gabeline Orchestra Award is presented to the Chamber Orchestra Senior who best exemplifies the pursuit of excellence in orchestral studies and performance. The recipient of this award represents the highest standards of musical artistry, technical mastery, and character at Westminster. She has been a member of the chamber orchestra for 4 years, serving as section player, concertmaster, and featured soloist. This brilliant violinist has performed in the Georgia Music Educators Association All-State Orchestra, the Atlanta Symphony Youth Orchestra, and is the winner of numerous solo competitions nationwide. In recognition of her spirited leadership, superb musicianship, and dedication to the music program, we are pleased to present the Norma Allen Gabeline Orchestra Award to Phoebe Liu.
The 3 Senior Art Awards are presented to students who exemplify excellence in different media within the visual arts. They make their inner voice manifest and realize their visions in ways that encourage the rest of us to join them in a world of possibility. The recipient for drawing and painting is ambitious, enthusiastic, and consistent. He is a technician that joyfully ponders, plots, and schemes the essential aspects of his work. He revels in the rigorous conversation that develops between artist and painting. Only a great deal of respect for the creative process would allow for the inevitable bait and switch, the painting as great conductor and he the most exacting instrument. The recipient for 3D design is a clumsy chef in the studio. While her sculptures at first glance may look like the result of accident, they are painstakingly designed with hour upon hour of revision. She is a master of humor and making her audience double and triple take their considerations of what they are seeing. She seamlessly combines these shock tactics with a powerful underlying social message about our food system. The recipient for digital imaging is a designer who captures the inner workings of the human mind. She manipulates color and light to her will, combining a strong mastery over her medium of choice with a deeply creative personal voice. Her exploits do not end at the classroom walls. She has already developed a portfolio working for museums and clients in the design world. With great pleasure, I present these Senior Art Awards to Worth Talley, Taylor James, and Frances Brown.
The commitment by our students to their sport is immense, and tonight we will honor those seniors who have committed themselves to the Westminster athletic program with their year-round 3-season participation. So as I call your name, please come to the stage to be recognized and receive your 3-season athlete banner. Jackson Alexander. Alec Can. Lily Chubb. Matt Howard. Peter Rooney. And Meghna Patel. Our most outstanding senior female athlete for the class of 2018 will graduate with a remarkable 7 state team championships and 1 individual title, earning 10 varsity letters, 4 in cross country, 3 in soccer, 2 in basketball, and 1 in track and field. She currently holds the school's 4th fastest 5K time ever in cross country. And this past weekend, she won the individual track and field state championship in the 3,200 meters. She's described by her coaches as an inspirational leader who models sportsmanship and consistently puts the needs of her teammates before her own. After suffering what would be for many a season-ending knee injury during her senior year, she returned 5 weeks later to earn a 3rd-place finish at the cross-country state championships. Next year, she'll be attending Duke University and playing soccer. It's a pleasure to introduce the most outstanding senior female athlete for 2018, Delaney Graham. Our most outstanding senior male athlete for the graduating class of 2018 earned 7 varsity letters during his time as a Wildcat, 4 in football and 3 in lacrosse. A rare 3-year two-way starter in football and a key contributor for the 2015 state championship team, he was selected as an AJC All-State linebacker in 2016 and 17 and was this year's Charlie Brake MVP award winner. In lacrosse, he has been a 2-time team captain, a 2-time first-team All-State member, a 2-time All-American, and a state champion. Described by his coaches as a special athlete and a great leader, he will attend Harvard University next year and continue his football career. It's a pleasure to introduce the most outstanding senior male athlete for 2018, Truman Jones.
The Goizueta Foundation Modern and Classical Language Awards. The winners of this award are not only outstanding foreign language students, but they have also reached beyond the classrooms to broaden their individual perspectives and make their own contributions to international understanding. Through their initiative and leadership, they have demonstrated that knowledge of other cultures provides a valuable reference point for appreciating and expanding one's own life, while also finding meaning and purpose in the larger world. In recognition of their achievements and in appreciation of their promise, we honor the following seniors. In Chinese, Albert Tseng. In French, Casey Mognac. And in Spanish, Brian Wesselman.
The George R. Lamplugh Excellence in American History Award, honoring Dr. Lamplugh in his 37 years of superb service to Westminster and the History Department, is presented to an outstanding senior student in Advanced Placement United States History. For her dedication to the subject and for her insightful and thoughtful critical understanding of its major topics and themes, we honor Grace Nichols.
Gwendolyn M. Clegg Memorial Award. During her 40 years of service to Westminster, Gwen Clegg was an English teacher, English department chair, 12th grade girls chair, girls college counselor, and associate principal. She was named star teacher more times than any other teacher to date. Her record of service to our school can only be described as exemplary, earning her a legendary reputation among three generations of alumni and hundreds of colleagues. Gwen's imprint on Westminster continues to this day. This year's recipient is a voracious reader who spent much of this year exploring the literature of the American South. Her study of Zora Neale Hurston and William Faulkner led her to see the nuances and contradictions that have shaped so many stories about this region. Her independent study culminated in a project notable for both its creativity and sophisticated analysis. She also participated in writing fellows and served as an embryo editor, enriching Westminster's writing community with her sincerity, creativity, and depth. The English department is pleased to honor Frances Mize. The David T. Lauderdale Jr. Memorial Award. David Lauderdale was a teacher, college counselor, and coach, an authentic Renaissance man. He had a passion for scholarship and literature, especially Shakespeare, and for athletics and the wisdom to take neither too seriously. He expected the boys to know how to think and laugh and listen. Most of all, he had a wicked sense of irony that helped us to laugh at the curveballs that life would throw our way. This year's recipient of the Lauderdale Award is an animated student who delights in discussion of great literature. With his edgy humor and sincere insights, he makes English class both meaningful and fun. I know because I experienced it this year. As a member of our Writing Fellows program, he experimented with many genres, including creative nonfiction, poetry, and flash fiction, while also doing great work in our Writing Center. Providing feedback to fellow writers, he demonstrated his literary gifts as a reader, but more importantly, his kindness as a supportive peer and mentor. The English department is delighted to honor Alan Chu. The Leila Mason Venable Eldridge Memorial Award. A graduate of the North Avenue Presbyterian School, Mrs. Leila Mason Venable Eldridge made provision in her will for special awards bearing her name to go to the senior boy and girl who have shown the highest quality of scholarship in the humanities. The first recipient of the Eldridge Award is a fiercely independent, unapologetic young scholar and poet whose eloquence raises the tenor of any discussion and deepens the insights of any essay. She is exacting when a thing needs to be done, but also thoughtful when sharing ideas. Her creative writing teacher remarks upon the imaginative force of her work, but also her ability to support younger writers as they work alongside her. The second recipient of the award goes to a student who possesses both intellectual and emotional intelligence. One of his English teachers cited his study of Merlin's role in Arthurian legend as a model of keen analysis and persuasive writing, while his 12th grade history teacher noted his ability to understand historical actors in their context. Even as his teachers commend his many academic strengths, they also note his humility and kindness, through which he helps to cultivate community within the classroom. It is our pleasure to honor Anna Wilkinson and Alex Palacios.
The Robert M. Sims Math Science Award was established in 1993 in recognition of Robert M. Bob Sims, who gave Westminster 36 years of dedicated service as an administrator, chemistry teacher, soccer coach of national distinction, and as a friend to many of us. Each year in his honor, the mathematics and science faculties honor 2 senior students who have distinguished themselves by both choice and performance in the most challenging mathematics and science courses, and who exemplify the qualities that Bob Sims both admired and respected. We honor our first recipient for her leadership as the president of the Drew Charter Health Outreach Program, her outstanding research project during Jan term on the biomechanics of dance injuries, and is a foundation for creating functional prosthetics for dancers in the future. We honor our second recipient for his passion for physics and mathematics, especially differential and integral calculus, and for his leadership freshman year in Science Olympiad and junior and senior year in Mu Alpha Theta, and especially in robotics. He says that these all brought a new influx of more technical and scientific activities that broadened my view of the world. The science and math departments are pleased to honor Abbey Pan and Adam Liang.
The Branham Award is presented each year to the senior girl who has made great progress during her upper school years. This student is known for her compassionate, encouraging, and caring nature. She has pursued and has excelled in her interest in marine and environmental sciences. Committed to a growth mindset, she accepts that sometimes challenges arise, yet she remains optimistic and gracious in her approach, a quality that is indicative of her future successes. On behalf of the faculty, it is my pleasure to present the Branham Award to Brianna Rasuta. The Barry Senior Award goes to a young man whose upper school career has demonstrated qualities of intellectual achievement, high character, academic progress, and a positive attitude. This student holds himself to the highest standards and persists through challenges by viewing weakness as an opportunity for strength. Unwavering in his respectful approach, he always engages others with authenticity and kindness. Applying the traits he learned while earning his Eagle Scout credentials, this student fully committed himself to our chorale and theater programs. Earlier this spring, he won the Atlanta area Shakespeare competition and completed at Nationals in New York. Congratulations to this year's Barry Senior Award recipient, Andrew Oglesby.
The recipient of the Dean's Award exemplifies tenacity in her work ethic, creativity, and exceptional problem-solving skills, both inside and outside the classroom. While she might seem a little quiet initially, she is proactive, and we have noticed that she has envisioned clear goals for her life. Her strong sense of self is reflected in everything she does. This student is described by her Jan-term internship advisor as open to feedback, professional, and determined to succeed. Another mentor writes, "There is nothing you can't ask of her without her getting the job done immediately. This willingness to serve proves her to be a natural leader." The recipient of the Dean's Award is an inspiration and a credit to your class and to our school. It is my honor to present this award to Zaria Nicole Franklin.
The Vernon S. Broyles Jr. Christian Leadership Award honors the memory of one of the founding fathers of Westminster. As senior minister of North Avenue Presbyterian Church, Dr. Broyles was a guiding and supportive influence in the transition from the old to the new, as he laid the groundwork for the establishment of Westminster as it is today. He served as chairman of the Board of Trustees from the inception of Westminster until his retirement in 1970. These two students have contributed deeply to campus life at Westminster, and each of their greatest contributions has been through their Christian leadership. Both are role models in how to love one's fellow students through compassion and giving. The first recipient has shown tremendous leadership in coordinating and developing the monthly events for our Fellowship of Christian Athletes while leading her team within the Christian Life Committee. She has raised the bar of what is expected for each of our events, and her efforts will be known for years to come. The next recipient has taken a leadership role in updating many aspects of our Friday morning fellowship and the music program for our Christian events. He has admirably led and developed the next group of musicians and the classes behind him. It is with great pleasure that I present the Vernon S. Broyles Jr. Christian Leadership Awards to Mary Chapman Miller and Rains Draper.
The President's Volunteer Service Award. The President's Volunteer Service Award is presented by the President's Council on Service and Civic Engagement through the Points of Light Foundation to recognize those students who have devoted 100 hours or more to volunteering in their communities and whose volunteer time has been tracked and certified by both Westminster and the Points of Light Foundation. This annual award recognizes individual students' dedication to volunteer service and signifies that they have served their community and their country with distinction. This year, we had 17 upper school students receive this award, including one member of the senior class. The senior recipient has a long history of philanthropy and service as evidenced in his yearly involvement with Westminster's Alternative Gift Fair and participation in Family Service Days. In addition, he co-founded a nonprofit to equip underserved young people around the globe with literacy, learning, and life resources. I am honored to recognize this year's senior recipient of the President's Volunteer Service Award, Xavier Holliday. The Community Service Award. The Community Service Award recognizes a member of the senior class who has reached out to help others by volunteering in the community and serving as a role model for others of how to make a difference in society. The recipient of this award is a true servant leader. A member of WCAT since the 6th grade, she has been instrumental in the transformation of the Westminster Senior Lock Garden into a legitimate urban farm. Under her leadership, this year's student gardeners grew, harvested, and donated 7 pounds of produce to the Collins United Methodist Church Food Pantry,
serving the needs of our Atlanta community. In addition, this recipient also built raised garden beds at Collins and provided education and tools for neighbors to begin to grow their own food. For her passion, vision, partnership, and her tremendous servant's heart, we are pleased to recognize Lara Kasabian.
The Westminster Spirit Award. Established by the class of 1999 as a symbol of their exceptional spirit and voted on every year by the members of the senior class, this award honors 2 students who have celebrated their peers in all their endeavors, providing extraordinary support and encouragement to them. By a vote of the class of 2018, the recipients of the Spirit Award are John Abernathy and Isabel Morgan. Croft Family Service and Fellowship Award. The Croft family, in memory of Mr. and Mrs. Edward S. Croft, Jr. and Ms. Sarah Croswell Croft, class of '73, presents a Service and Fellowship Award to the graduating senior girl and boy who best exemplify the ideals of personal integrity, strength of character, selfless service, a positive and upbeat attitude, a zest for life and learning, and true fellowship with their classmates and other members of the school community. The recipients are chosen from a list of candidates nominated by their classmates. This year, we are pleased to honor Claire Bergman and Matt Howard. The Head of Upper School Award. This student leads from the head and the heart. Her compassionate approach to leadership and commitment to empowering others lifts up not only her classmates, but the entire Westminster community. By practicing genuine empathy, she helps others explore their own potential and unleashes goodness in those around her. An integral part of student government, varsity lacrosse, and WCAT, she has demonstrated her commitment and love for all things Westminster. She's provided valuable counsel on important student issues and has worked tirelessly to represent the values, beliefs, and perspectives of all students. It's my great pleasure to present this award to Meghna Patel. I'd now like to ask Isabel Morgan and Ryan Sudduth to come forward for the presentation of the senior gift.
Each year, the senior class officers have the privilege of deciding where to allocate the extra funds that they have accumulated over the years to give back to the school. When we were deciding for our senior gift, this was an easy decision to make. We have chosen for the class of 2018 senior gift to go towards the Joseph H. Scoot Diamond Fund for Student Experience.
The Scoot Diamond Fund for Student Experience provides financial aid for costs that are not included in tuition, such as athletic uniforms, prom, graduation, running through history, textbook, and field trips. Even though Scoot Diamond has not been with us on campus this year, his presence is still felt throughout school. He epitomizes the Wildcat spirit and makes it his mission to make every student feel known. It is our hope that our contributions to the Scoot Diamond Fund will continue his legacy of joy, spirit, and acceptance for many years to come. Go Cats!
Yeah.
Thank you to the class for that. That's a really meaningful gift, and there's actually, I think, going to be an opportunity to see Mr. Diamond at graduation, so keep your eyes out for him. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution Cup. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution Cup is awarded to a senior who has demonstrated outstanding qualities of scholarship, leadership, and participation in school and community life. This student leader is a gregarious young man who has melded his roles as a multi-sport athlete with his interests in classics and history. His teachers comment on how he brings a rare combination of energy and focus to the classroom. A collaborator across social groups, he has led our Young Conservatives Club in campus-wide discussions, and he has coordinated our football team's outreach work with the Agape Center. With pride and appreciation, we award the Atlanta Journal-Constitution Cup to Erik Khan. The Thurza S. Askew Nobility Award. The former principal of the North Avenue Presbyterian School, Thurza S. Askew was a model of nobility, service, leadership, and devotion to the ideals of dignity and courage. This student has mentioned that she lives by Matthew 7:12, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." She was a new 9th grader, and she has contributed deeply to campus life in her roles as a student ambassador, board member of our Christian Life Committee, singer with Women's A Cappella, and competitor with our cross-country team. This senior was named our homecoming queen, and her positive attitude, exceptional work ethic, and natural kindness were key to the success of this year's Senior Gift Initiative. It's with great pleasure that we present this award to Reba Roy. The Judith A. Smith Citizenship Award recognizes a young woman whose presence has enriched Westminster in myriad ways. Known for her actions as a servant leader, this year's recipient is passionate about equity and inclusion. She has promoted mental health awareness and has emphasized the importance of allies in addressing the rights of the LGBTQ community. The student leads with a clear vision, having served as a 2-year president of Spectrum. With our appreciation, we honor Kelsey Russell. The James G. Patton Citizenship Award. This award encompasses honor, service, courage, and leadership, all characteristics epitomized by James G. Patton, teacher, coach, and dean of students at Westminster for 38 years. Our 2018 recipient is a strong leader who demonstrates an inherent ability for positively influencing others. A member of our Honor Council and Student Athletic Advisory Board, he has also served as a peer mentor with Atlanta Year Up, which serves at-risk young adults. School trips to Ireland and Kenya inspired a renewed commitment to his own leadership growth, which has enriched our community in multiple ways. We are honored to extend the James G. Patton Citizenship Award to Truman Jones. The Frances Isabel Outler Memorial Award honors the senior girl who has contributed to all phases of school life. Named for a highly respected former English teacher and college counselor, the award is given to a student who has shown excellence in scholarship, service responsibility, and character. Throughout her time at Westminster, this student has made the most of her time as a student, athlete, and citizen of our school, and has earned the respect of her peers and faculty. A natural leader and a key player in class discussion, she is detailed and conscientious, caring deeply about social issues and their implications not only for our school community, but for society at large. From being a gifted tennis player to an active admission ambassador, and as a member of the Discipline Council, this senior has invested a great deal of herself into many aspects of our community. With admiration, we present the Frances Isabel Outler Memorial Award to Grace Stays. The Richard L. Hull Memorial Award is presented to the senior boy who's contributed the most to all phases of school life. This year's recipient is known for his prodigious energy, stunning focus, and laudable judgment. Described as brilliant and thorough, his independent study on foreign relations between Iran and the United States set a new bar for Westminster scholarship. This student also possessed a rare commitment to empathy and collaboration. He exemplified that type of leader who earns respect through listening and care for others. With a relentless desire for self-improvement as well as the improvement of our community, this student has left a far-reaching legacy in a broad range of extracurriculars, from the Discipline Council to WCAT to men's a cappella to the Westminster Players. With great pleasure, we present the Richard L. Hull Memorial Award to Ryan Cosley. I'd like to now ask Elizabeth Maxwell to come forward for our closing prayer.
Please pray with me. Dear God, thank you for gathering us here tonight to rejoice and celebrate each of our accomplishments. We are forever grateful for the memories we have made as a class and the special relationships that will last a lifetime. As we go our separate ways this upcoming fall, we are reminded of the promises that you made and keep with each of us, that you will always be there to guide us in every circumstance and to renew our faith when we are discouraged. This night we are also reminded that our walk with you is never a lonely walk. If we lag behind, there are those like our teachers and parents who will offer words of encouragement, or our friends who will hold out a hand and pick us up when we stumble. And so we ask for your strength as we continue to step out into unknown places, follow unmarked paths, and face new and exciting adventures. In your name we pray. Amen.
I'd like to offer one more round of applause for this year's award recipients and our amazing class of 2018. wanted a reminder to the recipients and their families to please meet our donors and special guests in the library. We have cookies and punch in the foyer, and we would love if you would recycle your programs if you're not going to save them. Let's go out and enjoy the rest of this wonderful evening. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Not a problem. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Test, 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 test.